Hello my brothers and sisters in the Lord. I'm Mum of Many and this is a new video. If you'd like to, click the like button, click the subscribe button, and click the bell button for notifications on new videos. Now this is part 3 to the last video that I did, which was dabbling in the occult. Did parts 1, 2, and this is part 3. So if you haven't already seen those videos, then I advise you to go back and have a look on those videos, because then this one will make more sense to you. So just a quick recap. In the last video I spoke about my grandmother and her hand in dabbling in the occult, and basically the after effects of what it had done, and the ongoing effects of what it's still doing now today, even years after she's gone. So this part is going to be very short, and it's just going to be discussing who you align yourself with. Now I think I touched briefly on with a slight warning at the end, as into you should be careful who you align yourself with, and this is my testimony basically. Now the reason why I say be careful who you align yourself with, as in friendships, even relationships, is simply because a lot of the time you don't know, you know, if you're too willing to accept friendship just like that, then you don't know where they've come from, you don't know their background and what they've been involved with. Now I remember I had a sister in the church. Wasn't a regular, a goer or fellowshipper as such, and to be fair, I'd moved into a new area with my family, and I hadn't known her very long, and you know, we quickly became friends. Now speed forward to I'd only known her for about maybe 4 years, and so she suffered badly from anxiety. Okay, she was a really anxious and nervous person, and I never really thought anything of it. I kind of just put it down to just how she was as a person in general, and her background, you know. Her background was basically she'd been adopted, and she'd grown up, she had a good family background, but she'd grown up with not knowing who her parents were and things like that. So I basically just sort of shrugged it off and put it down to that. Now, in the background, and this is where the story starts, she had a friend who was operating under the spirit of witchcraft. Her friend was very controlling, very manipulative, and her friend would basically, she had a lot of control over this, over my sister, sister in the Lord, friend, and she had a lot of control over her. So I used to notice things like whenever she'd been for coffee with this friend, or she'd been out with this friend, when me and her would have a coffee or a meal together, we'd be amongst other people, she was even more anxious, more nervous, and she would say things to me like, oh, please don't let it get out that I've been out to coffee with you, you know, please don't let it get out that I've had a meal with you, because, you know, she might not like it, she might get jealous, and, you know, she's just a difficult person to deal with. And in the back of my mind, I remember thinking, why would you allow this person to control who you go out with, or who you eat with, you know? But then I tried to brush it off, you know, I tried to push it aside. And to basically cut it short, it seemed like whenever she was around this particular person, her anxiety increased. And so I noticed that over time, sometimes, you know, just because she was anxious, sometimes I would notice that in certain situations I would become anxious, and that wasn't me. You know, I'm not an anxious person as such, but whenever she was around me, I noticed that kind of rubbed off onto me, and the Lord started to minister to me and started to say to me, watch that, watch how she is around her friend, and be careful that you don't catch a cold, you know. And I hope that makes sense to you. So, you know, all praises to God, he directed me. I I won't go too deep into this story, because the main point I want you to get out of this is that sometimes you need to watch who you align yourself with, because, you know, sometimes, you know, you can catch a cold, you know, like the way their ways and their practices can sometimes rub off onto you. And if they've come from a negative background, if their ways are negative, you want to be careful, because it will creep into your life and affect how you deal with other people and affect how you deal with certain situations. And like I said, her friend was dabbling, was operating under the spirit of witchcraft. Okay, so my friend was very much controlled and manipulated by this person. And another point I want to make is, because she was going through it, she tried to control and manipulate me in our friendships. But all praises be to God. God made my eyes open, although I foolishly tried to dismiss it, and in the end, you know, it came out, and, you know, I'm no longer walking with this sister. So what I want to say to you is, you need to be very careful who you align yourself with, because these things can creep in unawares into your life and how you deal with things. And there's a reason why, you know, the Bible tells us that you know, bad morals can corrupt good character. It really can, you know. So you need to look deep into these things. Seek your counsel from God about the people that come into your life, and don't be too quick to call anybody a friend. Don't be too quick to draw yourself into a friendship with somebody without knowing them properly first and praying about it. Okay, because I can assure you, these things can rub off into your own life. And like I said, this person was operating under the spirit of witchcraft, because she was manipulative and she was very controlling. And so that rubbed off on this sister, who was then trying to do the same to me. Okay, and at the time I kind of looked at it. I didn't want to see it, but I did see it, if that makes sense. So I'll end it here with, just be very careful, again, who you align yourself with, and don't just connect yourself to any and anybody. And I say that with relationships as well. If you would like to leave a comment, please drop it down below. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, and share if you think this will help anybody. May God bless you. I'm Mum of Many, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.